Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Factorio Fixit. My name's Negative Root, and let's get cracking. Now before I go, actually, I want to make a quick disclaimer because some people are just silly. Like, you know how some men just like to watch the world burn. Some people insist on pushing the game to limits that it was never really designed to go. And this save that, look, he's a huge fan of mine and I really dig what he's doing, but his insistence on me doing a fix-it is just silly. Anyway, let's do it. It's the Mega Base by Colonel Will. But you already knew that because of the save. And this is going to be Factorio Fixit, the slideshow. Yes, thank you. So watch the frames per second, ladies and gentlemen. There's 10, there's 9, there's 8 frames, there's... Oh, we might actually get over 8 frames per second. Oh shit, how about that? So basically, I normally play this game... Oi, can you move? Apparently you can't move. Can you pick this up? Normally I play this game at about anywhere from 30 to 60, depending on the size of the factory. Now this is... Yeah, 5.1. There we go. So this is an insanely huge factory, and as a result runs incredibly slow. So you guys are going to have the pleasure of watching this, and basically what this means is I'm going to play it at 5 frames per second. So basically in the time that I would normally get, and just doing some quick back of the calculator maths, basically, instead of playing 20 minutes, I'm going to play about 6. So, yeah. Anyway, the Mega Base. What Colonel Will started out doing was building a base on Twitch. It started off as being a multiplayer base, actually. And then it kind of morphed into this ridiculous thing. And he was building a rocket defense for every follower he gains. And he was up to 100. And I'll show you the rocket defense chest shortly. Now, you can see the amount of raw resources that are flying around this base, and you can see the green circuits. I'm running down here to show you the green circuit build because this thing is awesome. As you can see, it's bringing my computer to its knees. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to turn off the heater shortly because I've got my computer is going to be throwing out enough heat to heat the room. Indeed, possibly a small house. So, lots and lots of belt design went into this. Madzuri actually helped out a lot with the belt design. He helped Will with a lot of the ideas behind it, and mostly it's just been hours and hours of hard work. Now, the reason the game is running slowly is actually because of the entities. You notice that every single entity is simulated on the belt. Now, if I go to the production stats, you'll notice that we are making 21k. No, that's not 20 of them. That's 21,000 copper cable per minute. We're making 11,000 copper plate per minute. So you can see that we got some ridiculous numbers. That is crazy. And it's just bringing the computer and the simulation to a grinding halt. You can see how this is all set up. So the central bus doesn't really work how you see it in smaller factories because it won't. In this factory, the resources need to move in discrete ways, and unless you set it up this way, you're never ever going to move enough. So you can see here that we've got a 4 wide or a 5 wide even. A 5 wide that goes into our green circuits. Now, green circuits obviously are first because they get such a high priority in any kind of build that's running towards rocket defense. And a quick glance at the numbers, you'll see that green circuits are definitely where you'll get held up in any kind of decent build that achieves any kind of speed. We can see here the processing modules, and they head off here to the left. Up here we've got the module factory. Now, I'm not actually probably going to make any fixes in this. It's probably going to be more of a tour. Mostly because it's been heavily optimized, this base, and any changes that I would make are actually going to be pure kind of production changes. They won't be changes to design because the design is very solid. And I don't know how Will can play on this bloody thing. 4.4 frames per second. Oh my god. So, how has everyone been? You all good? Looking after your mother? Feeding your pets? Doing your homework? Yeah. Finally! So we have modules. So all the modules get made here, and then it gets pumped into more modules, and then it arrives at the rocket defense making factory. Here is the rocket defense box. Ooh, goody! 1.1 frame per second. This is just getting better and better. Tick, 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 tick. You know, I did consider turning the entire thing off for this, but I felt that maybe showing how bad it is actually going to show you how good it is, if you get what I mean. In the way that bad is good and good is bad. So, now, we're nearly there. Oh, we're back to 4.4. How good is that? Okay, so you can see here that we got 50 rocket defenses. Now, it was up to 99 last time I saw it, and then the base was going to be undergoing a massive refit. He's building the gigabase, as he was calling it, and that's just silly. He bought a brand new computer, actually, because we were all giving him shit about how his what are we calling it? We were calling his computer the Spud, because he was playing on this old laptop, and it was just dying under the load of this factory. We were all giving him shit, calling him, saying that he was basically playing the thing on a Spud. Now, he went and he turned around and bought a better computer, so it's got like an i7 and a decent graphics card, and you know, so on and so forth. It only runs it at 12 frames per second, I think. So it's very much the simulation breaking down, and it's not a brute computing problem. It's just that you have so many entities, the simulation isn't optimized to count this many things. You can see here we've got the raw area where we throw out all of our modules, and then they go up and around the corner to here. And then they get pulled in to make the module 2s, module 3s go over here. Now just looking quickly, this is okay, I think. I don't really have a problem with it. Yeah, it is what it is. And see here we've got red circuit builds. You'll notice that they're being driven by 8 cable makers, and I dare say if I counted there's 16 of these. So let's go have a look. There's 2, there's 6, there's 10, there's 14, there's 18, there's 22, get through, 22, get through, there's 26, there's 28. There's 8 of them, there should be 64, I would say. Okay, so that isn't perfectly balanced, but it works, you know. And throughout all this factory, there's plenty of capacity in many of the areas. You can see here that green circuits are going along quite nicely. They're doing their thing. And I think that's probably all of the raw kind of factory I want to show you. Obviously, the oil setup has to be tanky, but it's not anything you would not have already seen. It's probably just an evolution thereupon, where we're cracking everything down to petroleum gas, and it's all being turned into plastic. Obviously, you need a lot of plastic if you're going to do something like this. Now, where are we? No, we're in the middle here. Oh god, this is so painful. Can't believe Will. He insisted that I do this, because he sent it to me ages ago, and I was like, dude, I get like 5 frames per second, I don't want to play it. He's like, do it. So here I am doing it. This is kind of the science build, and you know, obviously quick science, and that's, I believe, what it started out as. You know, research everything. Research the entire tree. If I have a look, yep, he's researched the entire tree. And then he moved over to, well, let's build a base that builds rocket defenses and can build, you know, one every 20 minutes or so. Right, so that's that. Now what I'm going to do is show you a little bit of the rail system, because the rail system is probably actually the best part about this base. If I back up, okay, you can see the size of the map. If I come in here, I want to show you guys this. So this is a rail yard. Now you can stack trains in here and hold them until they're needed. So there's obviously lots of trains are missing because they've been unloaded, but you can see that he's got 2 stations for copper ore, and then that's it really. Everything else just runs into that, and then all these little outposts then come in, they unload, they go into the mega base, and then they head out. And then as he moves an outpost, he'll just destroy the outpost, and the outpost names remain the same, so that the orders of the trains don't actually change. You can add more trains in if you need extra capacity, so you just set some of these going. You take them out of the shed and send them off to do their thing. And there's no real micromanaging. The trains sort themselves out, and this was probably the brilliant thing, is that after Will made the outpost, he set up the outpost, and then he would run back to the base, and it would take him, 15 minutes to travel back to the base sometimes. And then once he got here, he'd just send out the trains, and then that was all he had to do to gather more resources. And with the file mod, he was able to automatically lay rails, and once he got to the end, he would then deploy a roboport and have the construction robots actually build the outpost for him. So he will tap out the resource completely, put in like 1 or 2 stations, and then send them on their way. Now actually, that reminds me, Will, with the assistance of some of his viewers, started using something called a pre-stacker, which actually works as, he called it a stacker, which works as a pre-signal. And I will get to the train yard eventually. I figure I'll just keep talking. And basically what a stacker works as is roughly like a pre-signal. It determines that a train must go through a point before it's travelling on to the station. So by having a station that you say is called, say, pre-signal 1, and it's before your iron outpost, you can actually create a pre-signal behaviour by then chaining that with a rail signal. So you got the station, you got the rail signal, and that rail signal, if there's nothing between it and the station, suddenly you have a pre-stacker. A pre-signal. Or we'll call it a stacker. It was same meat, different gravy. Pretty smart, I reckon. And I might actually do a quick tutorial on it and show you what it looks like, because it was truly brilliant. Very, very good way of using the game dynamics to get the behaviour that they wanted, because they wanted some sort of queuing, get the trains in some sort of order, get them to go to a certain place. They wanted pre-signals, but there wasn't actually anything coded like it is in Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe. So they made one out of what they had. That's true genius, I think. So here we're getting to the rail yard, so I can show you what it looks like. So you can see here, I'll show you this, right? So this is an unload stacker, and this is another unload stacker. So what'll happen, right? And it's so cool, right? So these 3 tracks here, they're all coming in, okay, in and in. Now this is an unload stacker, iron unload stacker. You see that there? Iron unload stacker. See that there? Actually, I need to move away from this train line before I get run over. And then an iron stacker here. So what happens is the trains come in, they must go to, actually I can click this one here. See here, they go to Iron North 2, then they go to Iron Unload Stacker, and then they go to the unload station. Okay, so they must travel through the unload stacker first. You can see here that these are chained in with these signals, so that there can be nothing between it and the station. So you create pre-signal behaviour without actually using pre-signals. And this could, it's not actually going to take that long. Oh, there you go. But then the frames crash again. So that is how that works. And I'd love to show you more, but this is really trying my patience. Well, it was 100 hours, so you can see what 100 hours gets you in Factorio. It's truly ridiculous. Be sure to swing by Colonel Will's Twitch channel if you want to watch some Factorio being streamed. He is actually a very, very good player these days. Or actually, there's probably one more thing I need to mention about this, and I don't know if I'll get there in time. Because Will has this, I was going to say, he's a really good player, but there's this one thing that he insists upon, and that is no solar power. No solar power, no accumulators. So everything is driven off coal. Let me say that again. Everything is driven from fossil fuels. So either coal, solid fuel, something to that effect. So there is a massive boiler farm here somewhere. I don't know where it is. I'll have to go find it, which could take me a little while. See if I zoom in. Ah, here it is. The Pax power plant. Yeah, I'm not going to get there in time. But yeah, this is a massive... Oh, can I get there in time? Surely there's a train down here somewhere. Actually, surely I've got one. Yes, I've got one. Excellent. I'm just going to jump on a train and get up there quickly. I feel puffed. I feel puffed playing this slow. I can't think this slow. Ah, dang it. Yeah, alright, let's place this. Alright, let's open the locomotive. Let's drop some coal in there. Actually, let's... where is it? Pax power plant. Let's add that. Because the train will automatically take us there if we run it. So now we're just got to sit here and wait for a little bit. And actually, during the streams, Will would normally just sit here and chat while his trains took him wherever he needed to go. Because it does take a little bit of time. But yeah, if you're interested in watching some KSP Factorio being streamed, I'll put Colonel Will's Twitch link in the description, so be sure to get over there and check him out. Give him a follow, that way you'll get a notification when he goes live. Generally he streams of a morning, my time, so generally of an evening if you're in the Greenwich Mean, which also means evening if you happen to be in the States. What else to tell you? We're nearly there, so that's excellent. But lo and behold, a power plant and or power plants. So you can see what we have here. It's pretty ridiculous. And this punches out quite a, well, shall we say, quite a number in terms of power. So we'll check that out very quickly, and then that'll be the episode. 200 megawatts. Actually, it reminds me of Tim Allen. Needs more power. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do us for this Factorio Fixit. Be sure to check out Colonel Will. Thank you very much for joining me on. Until next time, I'll see you later.